Hi,
Hi.
Des. Hi.
Hi.
Happy Thursday. How's it going?
Happy National Sewing Month.
Happy National Sewing Month. I know. So hopefully we'll have some people jumping on here. We're super excited today. So if you RSVP to this event, hopefully you already have an idea of what we're going to be doing. But if you're just seeing this as you're scrolling around, thanks for joining us. Let us know that you're watching and where you're tuning in from. Today we are celebrating National Sewing Month, and we have some fun things going on over here at Create Room. So our Create Room, we're the makers of the Dream Box, which you can see behind us, and many other great organizational products for crafting. So I'm Ashley, and I'm tuning in from Utah, and this is Desi.
Hi, guys. I'm Desi, tuning in from New Jersey.
Yes. So we are across the country from each other. We'd love to hear where you guys are watching from, and if you have a dream box, if you're dreaming about a dream box, let us know. So, okay, so a little overview of what we're going to be doing today. So the main event is a fun craft project. It's actually a sewing specific project to celebrate National Sewing Month that we're going to be doing today with Amy Lotta, who's amazing. So we're so excited for that. So that's kind of the main thing of today. But before we get into that, we have a few things we wanted to go over, ways that Create Room is celebrating with our community, National Sewing Month. So we wanted to go over a few things with you guys first. And okay, so we're going to switch over to a new screen here. We've got some things to go through with you guys. So, okay, so happy National Sewing Month. Like we said, September is National Sewing Month, and there's so many fun ways to celebrate, but we hope you guys will participate. It's honestly coming to an end here, which is it's wrapping up. So if you didn't know, this is your chance to jump in and celebrate before it's over. So a few things today. If you are here on the live, you have a chance to win something fun. So, okay, Des, so maybe explain what we're doing here.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're joining us live today, we're going to be selecting 3 lucky winners to win a Create Room Crafters Caddy. And it's very simple to enter. All you have to do is comment once or twice during the live, share this live, stay for the entire event. So that's the most important part. You have to be here for the entire live, and we will announce 3 winners at the end.
Yes. Okay. I'm hoping that my slides are showing up as we're talking. Yeah. Okay. So so make sure to comment. Tell us that you're here. That's an entry to win. And we'll announce this at the end, like Desi said. So a few things we wanted to go over. Okay, we have this really fun thing going on right now, a way that we're celebrating National Sewing Month. Are you guys seeing this? Are you seeing it up on the screen, Des?
I'm seeing it. Yeah, beautifully.
Okay, perfect. So we have this fun, well, I'll let you explain it, Des.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been having this really fun Create Room Sews campaign throughout National Sewing Month, and we've basically challenged you guys to share this hashtag Create Room Sews and share projects you're currently working on, maybe a project you're dreaming of working on, and any inspiration you've been seeing in the sewing community. And the entries have been so amazing. I'm so inspired. I do not sew, but I actually have been so inspired that I'm in the market for a sewing machine now.
Yeah,
So
and that's the
please
truth.
let me know in the comments.
She's been asking, what machine do I get? And
Yeah,
so
I don't even know where to begin, guys. So I need your help. But I wanted to share just some of these amazing entries that we've been seeing. One is from Melissa M. She says, I just made my first insulated lunch tote. It is so, so cute. I want one of those. Nicole C says, this is my latest creation, which is perfect for fall. It looks like a fall pumpkin pillow. And then Peggy G says, working on a quilt coat using Fantastic Cats theme fabrics. So all of these entries have been so amazing. Ashley, do you want me to continue?
Yes. Okay. Are you seeing the next slide?
Yes. Catherine A says, these are a few of the quilt tops I've made in the last year. I taught myself how to use a sewing machine by watching YouTube tutorials. I'm probably going to have to reach out to Catherine because I don't know what I'm doing. And then Tatiana G says, I would love to learn how to make this kiss and lock coin purse. And Kathleen T says, my space makes me creative, which I love to see that.
I love this. And I love So this is in our Facebook group, as we mentioned. It's called Create Room Family. And so the fun thing about this is like we're seeing all these fun projects, but then like the example of the little coin purse, like if you know how to make that, you can comment and give her some, ideas. And it's just a fun way to support each other and, like you said, inspire each other this month. So it's been really fun. I've been super inspired too, just seeing all the fun projects. So definitely join us there. We'll put a link if you're not already in that group. It's a really fun place to be. We'll put a link so you can join us and go in and share your Create Room Sews post. Okay, so the other thing we wanted to go over quick, because we're all about organization here at Create Room, we wanted to at least spend a little part of this event talking about some organization tips if you're sewing. And whether you're brand new to sewing or you've been sewing for years, I think these are applicable, and hopefully you guys will get something out of it. So, okay, so the first thing, we know that sewers and quilters, like the main thing is fabric, right? Fabric.
Yeah.
And you can never have too much. And so one tip, and we would love to hear your tips too, actually. We're going to share our tip, but if you have tips for storing fabric, please share. So fabric, our tip is sort by color and size. So rather than keeping all your fabric in, a bin in your garage or wherever it is, we love the idea of being able to display it, see what you have so you can actually use it. And sorting by size and color is a really nice way to keep things categorized and organized. So you can see here like an example of how to do that. We use the mini bolt accessory, and there's 2 different sizes. We sell this on our website. So you can see on the left side, these are like fat quarter size fabrics. And so you can store those in the medium in-view tote that we have in the dream box. And then over here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, probably not. On the right picture, you can see some of those really colorful blocks. Those are some longer fabrics, like a yard or a couple of yards. We've done some different lengths, but that's a great way. It's the mini bolt, you wrap it around. It's just a great way to store it where you can see everything. So it's almost like a bookshelf display. So anyways, and I'm sure you have, different amounts of your fabric stash, but it's a great way to at least get in front of you, like the fabrics that you want to use in the next few months, or you want to, kind of be inspired by. So that is our tip for fabric storage. And like I said, I would love to hear any other tips you guys have, but that's something we've found to be really a great way to access and see all the amazing fabric that you have to work with. Okay, for notions, sewing notions, this is another thing that you gotta have when you're sewing. So our tip here is to store your items in right size containers, and when possible, keep things clear and in view so that you can remember what you have, because it's so easy to just lose all these little buttons and tools and things. So a couple examples of how you can accomplish this is the mini totes are something that we also sell on our site. They actually fit perfectly in one of our tote sizes, the large tote. And they come in a variety of sizes, and they're stackable. But what's nice is that nothing gets lost down in these deep bins. They're just not the solution. So, and like I said, they're stackable. You can still see everything because it's clear. And then on the right here, we have the pegboards that you can add to your dream box. And it's a great option for thread storage, or there's hooks you can store like your scissors, things like that. So keeping things easily accessible and visible. Anything you'd add, Des? I know you're new to sewing, but I feel like this is applicable in all crafting.
No, absolutely. I love how you said everything in view. I always recommend when people are purchasing a dream box, this is like the tip I give them. They get very excited about decorating. And I always tell them, guys, keep everything in view for the first 6 months you're working with it. So this way you know where everything is and you can store it color by color coordination, and you feel organized and confident that you can find everything.
100%. So, okay, any other tips? We'd love to hear them. But I also just love like hooks, because we know there's so many like hanging things, like your rotary blades, your scissors, your rulers, and all of that. Okay, so the last thing we wanted to give a little tip on, this one's pretty self-explanatory, but your machine. having easy access to your machine, I think, will make all the difference. Would love to hear if anyone has any comments on this, but a couple ways that I guess we would recommend storing your machine. So yes, definitely having a home for it where it can always go. But if you can, at all make it easily accessible, that's just going to increase the chance that you're going to be able to sew. If you don't have to like lift it off the ground or, pull it out from behind your bed or wherever it is, keeping it easily accessible. So one place that is a great option if you're using Create Room Furniture is the Dream Station. So on this left picture here, you can kind of see, what you can't see is that this is an electric lifter. So it hides it away down below. And then when you're ready to sew, it just lifts it right up, which is awesome. And then on the right here, you can see the center of the Dream Box there. This center space fits a machine really well, and you can tuck it away and put everything away. So those are our organization tips for sewing, whether you're new or have been sewing for years. Hopefully that's helpful. And a reminder, thanks for everyone that's commenting and saying hello. Commenting and sharing this video will enter you into our giveaway that we're going to be announcing at the end of this live for a free Crafters Caddy. So keep commenting, keep letting us know what you guys think as we go through this. All right. We're going to move on here. Okay, the last thing we want to talk about before we bring on Amy, which we're so excited. So Amy's going to be doing a craft with us in just a few minutes here. Before we get to that, we wanted to just talk about a few things that we have going on our site with National Sewing Month right now. If you're looking, this is a great time. If you're looking to celebrate National Sewing Month, what better way than to like get an amazing setup for yourself where you can actually spend more time sewing and creating. So we wanted to go over some offers. This first one, as it pulls up here, this is
my end.
Okay, you can see it. Okay, so we've got 24-month 0% financing as an option until the end of this month. So September 30th is coming up, I think next Tuesday. So up until then, you can get you can qualify. So you do have to apply and get your rate, but we're offering as low as 0% for 24 months, which is normally 6 months, right?
Yeah, this is an amazing opportunity to get organized before the holidays. I always recommend the financing. It's such a great option. That's how I purchased my first Dream Box.
Yes, I love that you can just pay over time. This is 2 years. You can start now, pay over time at 0% interest. That's amazing. Plus, you can lock in a lot of the offers that we have currently available right now for sewing. So that's applicable, I think, on anything over $200. Is that right? You might know better than me, guys. Okay, so anything over $200, you can apply for that financing, and it's through Bread Financing. If you need any help, Desi is one of our creator consultants, so her or another person on our team would love to help you. There's a chat button on our website. You can always reach out to us if you have any trouble. Okay, so this is a really exciting one, the Dreambox Sewing Bundle. We wanted to just offer something for our community where it takes out all the guesswork, and we put together this bundle of our accessories and the Dreambox. So it's like a dream sewing setup. Desi, do you want to highlight anything in this bundle? Everything listed on the right is what is included, and it's a $3,700 value. So we're giving you like a $700 savings here. But yeah, what do you want to highlight in this? What are you excited
I just want to talk about overall the value here. This is a $29.99. You're getting everything listed here: the double light crown, the white shaker exterior, which everyone dreams about getting. You get the InView tote package, which is going to come with 39 totes. Like, the value in itself right there is incredible. And then you're getting all these accessories included. So if you're not sure where to begin and where to start as someone that is a seamstress or is a quilter, we've tailored the package for you. This is so easy to get started.
It's so great. And like you said, it includes the crown light, which is our most popular accessory. And that alone is like a $300 value. So that's getting bundled in here. The other thing, like we mentioned, the mini totes earlier on and the mini bolts. So that's for storing your fabric and your little notions. That's all included in the package. So everything you just saw about how to get organized with your sewing stuff, that's in this bundle, which is awesome. So we're going to include a link to this bundle for you guys. If you have any questions about it, let us know. But that's kind of the biggest savings during our National Sewing Month celebration. If you are looking to just customize your dream box, maybe sewing is just part of your craft and you don't want to go all in on your dream box. We call it the Dream Box Design Studio. If you design your own dream box, there's also a lot of amazing deals going on right now. That's just on our main dream box page. So you can check that out. We'll give a link to that as well. And all of this can be bundled in with that 24-month 0% financing, which is amazing. So, okay. And then the last thing, well, I think there's maybe one more thing after this, but these side furniture items that go with the dream box, and you saw the Dream Station where there's an electric lift for your sewing machine. If you're looking for like this surround sound, not surround, well, I guess it is surround sound in a way, but a surround experience, you'll want to add a dream cart and a dream station, which is what you see here in the picture. That will just give you more table space, more storage space. You can spread out. It's not necessary to start off that way, but if you do know you want that, right now we're offering extra bundle savings, and it will all ship together. So we're like, you're getting free shipping. You're getting this bundled savings. It's a great time to get more than one piece of furniture.
Absolutely. Bundling is the way to go. You're saving on shipping. You're getting discounts, and you're getting the full suite.
Yep, it's amazing. Okay, we are about to get to Amy, which we're so excited about. The last thing I wanted to mention is if you already have a dream box and you're just looking to get some of these sewing accessories that we've mentioned, we have a sewing accessories bundle that is also at an amazing price until the 30th. So we kind of put these all together, and you can upgrade your dream box for your new sewing hobby, or maybe just the hobby that you haven't been able to accommodate well enough. So anyways, this is a great bundle as well. Okay, I think we are through. Okay, yes, the exciting time has come. Okay, so we're going to bring Amy on, and she's going to do a fun craft with us. Desi, do you want to give a little intro? I mean, just a little bit, and then we'll let her introduce herself.
Absolutely, yes. Amy's been very patient with us. So I'm going to introduce Amy Latta. We've been working with Amy for years, and she's an absolute amazing talent. She's a pleasure to work with. She's a multimedia crafter. She does it all. And I have just been so impressed with her. I know everyone on her team has been impressed with her, and she's just an inspiration in the craft community, to be honest. So
we're so lucky to have her today.
Yeah, we're so thankful to have you on with us today, Amy. And so let's get started with the craft.
Bring her on, Kate. Yeah, you're behind the scenes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me, and happy National Sewing Month.
Amy, hi. Yes, thank you. And we're so happy to have you. So tell us anything more that you want to share with our community before we get into the craft.
Absolutely. So as the girls mentioned, I've been working with Create Room for years. I have a dream box. I have the original sew station. I have the, what did you used to call the cubby, the crafting cubby? Yeah. So I have lots of the furniture here in my studio that's keeping me organized. And in the past, I've done several of these type of live events where we've crafted. But my specialty when I started out was hand lettering, modern calligraphy, and doodles. So you may have participated in one of those events where we learned how to do calligraphy, or we doodled some animals and things together. But my journey has actually been really exciting because there was a quilt company about 4 years ago that reached out to me and said, "We really love your lettering. And, you know, sewists and quilters have opportunities where they would like to letter on fabric. Could we partner together, and you could use our brand new markers and teach people how to do hand lettering on fabric so they can create quilt labels and things like that?" So I said, sure. And we filmed a YouTube series for Missouri Star Quilt Company. And then I said, I taught you how to do my specialty. Now it's only fair for you to teach me, because the one thing I had never tried and was always afraid to do was quilt. I am not good at math. I'm also not really good at cutting. And I thought you were going to have to take scissors and cut these little teeny tiny perfect pieces. And I thought that's not the craft for me. And they said, wait a second. This is so much easier than you think. You just need the right tools and a little instruction. And sure enough, I fell in love with quilting. And so it's led to some really interesting and fun partnerships where I've partnered with Andover Fabrics, and now I have 2 fabric collections out that combine my doodles and hand lettering with my
What?
love for fabric
Amazing.
and sewing. So my first collection is called Bloom and Sew, and that's what's on this hat here, and you can see it behind me on the left. It's pinks and greens and florals, some spools, lots and lots of fun. And the second one just released this month called Sunny Honey. And that fabric collection is all about bees and sunflowers. And that's what you see behind me here. And that is shipping to stores this month. So it's been just the coolest full circle kind of thing for me because I'm combining my love of art and my love of sewing and putting them together. And so I couldn't be more excited to be sharing with you today. The project that we're going to make is this really simple pinwheel quilt block hat. And don't be intimidated if you're not a quilter, if you're not an experienced sewist, because this is so easy and you're going to see that anyone can do this. My most recent book, Quilting for Everyone, has this project in it. There are 28 different projects in here, and I wrote it specifically for beginners. It's applicable to everyone, even if you've been quilting for years and years and years. But I wrote it to help people who felt like I did and to give them the idea that, get the right tools. This is what you need. Get basic instruction. This is what you need to know. And then the 28 projects, some of them are quilts, but some of them are these really simple things that you can do in an afternoon because I'm impatient. I like things that are quick, cheap, and easy. And so I wanted to put things in here like pouches, mug mats, table runners, table toppers, tote bags, things like that, a denim jacket that's embellished, because those are the kinds of things that we're actually going to sit down and do, especially when we're just starting out. So we're going to get started making this hat. And if you're crafting along with me or going to rewatch this video later, what you're going to need is a basic ball cap. And I like to source these on Amazon. You can find them for like $8 or $9, which is pretty reasonable. You can get any color that you like. You're going to need fabric scraps, just 2.5-inch squares. And then you're going to want your rotary cutter. You're going to need your machine, of course, an iron. And the other special thing that you're going to need is fusible adhesive. So mine's on a roll, but you can also get it in sheets. And I think there was a supply list somewhere that you can pull up for this project. But this is basically a double-sided adhesive that you iron on, and then it adheres fabric to a surface like a hat or a jacket. So, ladies, if you would do me a huge favor and switch to my overhead camera, I want to go ahead and start our project. So
Okay.
the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to cut yourself 4 squares of fabric. And I have some examples here. Your squares, we're going to cut, you can do 2.5-inch or 3-inch. These are 3-inch squares. And all you're going to do is just cut these. The easiest tip I have for you is that you're going to get a quilting ruler. And these come in all sizes, but they're helpful for people like me who don't math and don't like to measure. All you're going to do is put this on your fabric. You're going to take a rotary cutter, which is like a pizza cutter for fabric, and you're going to go whoop, whoop, and you're going to cut that fabric, and it's going to turn into these perfect little squares. It's so much easier than what I thought. No scissors involved. So this is a great way to use up your scrap fabrics. You can use 2 squares each of 2 different fabrics, which is what I did on this one. You can see that it's just 2 different fabrics. And the same thing here. This is just 2 different fabrics. Or if you would like, you can mix it up and you can do 1 square each of 4 different fabrics. So totally up to you. I did see a comment question that says, what kind of fabric? You want quilter's cotton. So we're taking our 4 scraps and we're going to put them in pairs and place them pretty sides together. So you're going to take the right sides of the fabric and make them kiss. We're making a little sandwich here. And you've got the wrong sides on the outside, right sides together. So we're doing this with our 4 squares, 2 and 2. Then what we're going to do is take a ruler, or you can use your quilting template for this, and we're drawing a line through the diagonal. You can use any kind of pen or marker that you want for this because it's going to get cut and you're not going to see it. But just a tip for those of you that like to sew and may end up marking on something that you want to not see eventually, this is a heat erase pen. It is by Pilot, the pen makers. It's called Frixion, Frixion. And what happens is you can draw a line with this, hit it with your iron, and it goes away. So it's heat erase. And I like to use that just as a default because I never want to see lines in my projects. So for both of our pairs of squares, we're going to draw a diagonal line through the center, which I did here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take it to our machine. And I used yellow thread here so that you guys can see it a little bit better. But I sewed a straight line, 1/4 of an inch on either side of that line. So a lot of machines will have a 1/4 inch foot, and that will allow you to line up this line with the edge of your sewing machine foot. And that way, you know, you're getting a 1/4 of an inch seam. So you're just going to sew it, you'll flip it around, and you'll sew it. So all we're doing is 2 little straight seams, one on either side of that center line. Make sense? Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our handy rotary cutter. This one's name is Olga. Yes, you can name your rotary cutter. This is Missouri Star Quilt Company has a tool set and they name them for you. So this is Olga. There's the big one is Greta. So I'm going to take Olga and I'm just going to cut on the line that I drew. And this technique makes what we call half square triangles in the quilting world. So what you'll get is a square that's made up of 2 triangles. And we get 2 of those because we cut in the center, and that gives us 2 of these that are each made up of half of our fabric square. So far, so good?
Looking good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, good. Desi, since you're new to this, let me know if there's something that doesn't make sense.
This is amazing. And I am also not good at math. So this is really good.
There you go. Well, we're not mathing. See, it's very easy. So we have these. If you are doing a quilt pattern and you see the letters HST, that means this, half square triangle. So this is an HST. Then what we're going to do is press our seams because this is not very flat and we want it to be flat so that it lays on our hat nicely. So what we do is we flip it over. Now there are different ways that you can press a seam. You can press it all in one direction, or you can kind of open the seam up and press it open. Different quilters and sewists have different preferences. I like to press to the dark side. So we're going to go Star Wars for a minute here. This is literally all I know about Star Wars, but the dark side. But we're going to press to the dark side. So what that means is we're going to take this seam and we're going to fold it over this way because see, this fabric is darker than this fabric. So we're going to press our seam in that direction. And you can do that with an iron or you can do it with your fingers. And what happens then is it's going to make our block lay flat. And because we press to the dark side, you can't see that seam. If we had pressed to the light side, you would see it. So we're hiding it.
Oh, smart.
Yep. And it's nice and flat. So we're going to do that for all 4 of our half square triangles. Because remember, we did 2 of these. So when we cut them, we're going to end up with 4 of these, just like this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now what we do is we make our pinwheel shape. And this is fun because you can do it any way you want. You can have the green and blue as the pinwheel, or you can decide that you want to focus on the lights. So all we're doing is we're just going to play with our layout and put these, turning each one so that we have, whoops, there we go. So that we have our pinwheel shape like this. So we've got alternating light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. See, I promise, easy. So we have these 4 squares and we just turn them to make a pinwheel. Now, we have to sew our pinwheel together. Again, easy peasy. We're taking the top 2 pretty sides together and we're going to go to our sewing machine. We still have our 1/4 inch foot and we go whoop and we make a straight seam like this. So we've got them face together, straight seam, open it up, and we have them sewn together. And of course, we're going to press to the darker side.
Mhm.
Then, so let's see, that's going to be up here. And then what we're going to do is the same thing with our bottom two squares, open it up. So then we end up with our pinwheel. And you can also, this is fun too, because if you lay it this way, we have our pinwheel. If you lay it this way, we make a different block.
Yeah.
So that's one of the really fun things
Cute.
about it, is that you can play around with your blocks and get different shapes. So now we have our top row and our bottom row. We're going to go pretty sides together, and we're going to line up that seam in the middle the best that we can, so that we get nice, good points. You'll always hear quilters talking about their points. So we're going to line up the seams. And there's also a trick called nesting seams, which is, since we press to the dark side, we're going to line them up, and our seams are going to kind of nest in with each other because they're pressed to the opposite side.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And then we're going to just sew straight across here, 1/4 inch seam. Everything in quilting is a 1/4 inch seam. And then we open it up, and we have our pinwheel, which is what I have here.
Oh,
So any
Beautiful.
questions so far? Does it make sense?
so pretty.
This is great.
Okay. So now, after we do that, this is where our adhesive comes in. So this is our double-sided fusible adhesive. There's a brand called Sew Light, S-E-W Light. There's also Heat and Bond, or Bosel makes it, but it's just any kind of fusible adhesive. And what you'll do is, I already did this yesterday, so I was a step ahead, but you're going to iron it onto the back of your square. Now, after that's ironed on, we want to do that first, because when we trim our square, if we don't have this ironed on, the edges are going to fray. Like, see how I have all these little stringies? But if we have the adhesive ironed on, when we cut, we get a clean cut. Not to say it won't ever fray a little bit, but actually that's going to be part of the charm of our design. If you can see a little bit there, that little handmade look, but it's going to prevent it from fraying like crazy and looking like a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. So then we're taking our template, and we're going to turn this block into a 2.5 inch patch. So we made it plenty big. We have like a 3.5 inch block here. So we have plenty of extra. I like to make my blocks bigger than I need them, because I can always trim them and make them smaller for my project. But if I make them too small, there's no fixing that, and we have to start over. So I like to err on the side of bigger, and then I can trim it to the size that I want. So I'm going to center this, and this is where the only math is going to come in here, because 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 makes 2.5, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to put this so that the 1 1/4 is on the center, and the 1 1/4 is on the center, and that's going to make sure that I'm going to get the right size block. And I'm just taking Olga here. And just a note, Olga doesn't like it as well when you sit down. Olga likes you to stand, because you
Put a
can
little
give
pressure.
more pressure. Exactly. So Olga is a little bit finicky when I don't stand up. She doesn't like it as well. So if she's being difficult, that's why. But yeah, I would definitely recommend standing up for your Olga situation. Okay, so we're just trimming. So we've got 1 1/4 and 1 1/4, and you can just, as you turn, you're just lining it all up, and it's going to give you your little pinwheel.
So cute.
And it's going to be the size that fits on your hat. Now, we're using a hat today because hats are one size fits all, and it's super easy. And one of them absolutely just fills up a hat perfectly. But this is not the only use you could use for this. You could put this on jeans. You could put it on your back pocket. You could put it on anything you want, like the front of a denim jacket. We talked a little bit about the jackets earlier. I don't have mine here to show you, but there's one in the book. And you make a large quilt block, so like an 8 inch block. and you iron that onto the back of a denim jacket or a denim vest. So it's the same basic thing that we're doing, and it can be any block that you like. It can be more complicated than the pinwheel, or it can be something very simple, but you're going to do the same thing. Iron the fusible on, trim it to your size, and then we peel off this back paper, and it's going to be shiny and a little bit sticky. And then we just have to put this onto our hat. So let me grab my hat. Now I know a lot of you guys have Cricuts. This is the Cricut hat form that comes with the Cricut hat press. So I like to use that because it just, it's a good surface for ironing because it gives you some resistance here. It is next to impossible to iron onto this. So if you don't have a Cricut hat form, you're going to want to take like crumpled up paper bags and newspapers or a pillow. A pillow is really good. You can just kind of shove it in there until it gets kind of firm. But you want something here that's going to give you something to press against when you put your iron on. And I saw somebody mention in the comments, you can use this to cover up a design or a logo on a hat. And that's absolutely true. I love to thrift things. My denim jackets all come from the Goodwill. And so I like to find fun things like that, like hats that have a logo I don't want, and then I just cover it up. So all we're doing here is we're going to position our pinwheel in the center of our hat. And if you can see, I've lined up the center of the hat with the center seam of the pinwheel. And that's how you know that it's in the right spot. And then we're going to take our tiny baby iron. You could also use the Cricut hat press if you have that, because it's curved. That one's a nice thing to use. This is my little baby Oliso iron, and we're just going to iron it until it sticks. And the corners sometimes don't like to go all the way down, but that's okay because we're not finished. This is National Sewing Month, and we're going to sew with our machine and with our own little hands. So the very last step is that we're going to take thread and a hand sewing needle, and we're going to just do a running stitch. And you can see that here on this fall one. It's a dark brown stitch going around the edges. It is not perfect, but that is the beautiful thing about handmade, is that no one made this in a factory. My own little hands stitched that and held it on there. And that's what we would do to finish this hat. And this is what it's going to look like.
It is so cute. I love how, like you said, there's just so many variations of how it could turn out. It's
exactly.
So fun.
Yeah, and I love it because all 4 of these hats are the exact same thing. They're just using different fabric collections and a different base colored hat. So I have a spring hat, I have a summer hat, a fall hat, and you can do it. They have team fabrics. I know it's football season. You can get your team fabric, or, anything that represents you, anything that you love.
I love that. And yeah, the hand stitch at the end really adds some charm. Like you said, I think that that's so cute.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a great introduction project because all you're doing is sewing straight stitches, straight seams. It's an introduction to quilting without having to actually quilt anything.
Yes.
So when we talk about quilting, and I go into this in my book, quilting is actually the act of sewing together 3 or more layers. And so that's where you get like the quilt top, your pieced thing, and you would get batting and a backing, and you would sew through all of those. And we're not doing that here. So we're doing what's called piecing, which is piecing fabric together. Because this is my favorite thing, is like, so hi, I'm Amy, and my hobby is cutting up fabric into little tiny pieces to sew it back together again.
Honestly, this was so, like you said, it's such a good beginner tutorial. Like I sew, but I don't quilt, but I would love to get into quilting. So I love that this is just a little taste of it, and it's not too deep, not too far. And a lot of people who are watching are probably familiar with Cricut crafting or other things, and there's some elements of that here that you can cling on to that are familiar. So
yeah, you can use some of those same tools. Make use of what you already have.
Yeah, I love it. Desi, did you think this is something you can do?
I'm feeling confident. Like, I think I can do this. And Amy, I'm gonna shoot you a text next week and show you what I come up with.
Oh, yes. Please. I would love to see how they turn out. It's so simple. And, if you would like other kinds of quilt blocks better, everybody thinks of like that regular patchwork where it's just it would be 4 squares sewn together. You could do that, or any kind of block that you want, just trim it to size.
Totally. That's That's so true. You could even get more creative with it. I love
Yeah.
this. I've never seen
Yeah,
anything
this
like this
time.
too. It's so unique, so fun. I think people had a really good time and are very inspired now. This is exactly what we needed for National Sewing
Yeah.
Month.
Good. Good. Yes. And I see people that are mentioning in the comments too about Christmas hat. Yes, please. Christmas is my favorite. I would have my tree up today if my husband wouldn't freak out. And Christmas sweatshirt. So again, sweatshirt would be the same as a jacket where you're just going to take your block and you're going to put that fusible adhesive on it. And then you're going to just iron it on and stitch around it. And you could even, for a shirt or a jacket, you can machine stitch around it rather than hand stitching. The reason we hand stitch the hat is because you can't get this into the sewing machine.
Totally, totally makes sense. Well, I saw a few questions too in comments about the book that you mentioned. If you want to remind everyone just the details on that, and I think you have a special code for our
I do.
audience. Let me pull you up to the main screen here.
Sure. So this is Quilting for Everyone, and it was really a passion project for me because I absolutely was terrified to quilt. And then once I learned and the scary part was taken away, I love it. It's my absolute favorite way to be creative. It's what I do literally every day. I'm down here piecing some kind of block for a project, whether it's decorative apparel, a bag, a quilt. And it makes such great gifts too. And for those of you, I mean, you're all creators. That's why you're here. You love to make and share and gift things. And so things like this, this makes a great Christmas present. So lots of ideas in here for that as well. So I just wanted to take out the guesswork and make it super simple. And so what you'll find is the introduction to quilting, all the supplies that you're going to need. It explains the verbiage that people might use that you don't understand. It also talks about pre-cuts, which is something that I didn't know about. I thought that you just bought fabric by the yard, which you can, but you can also get pre-cut fabrics. This is called a charm pack or 5-inch squares, and they're already cut to 5 inches. And so if you need 2.5 inches, you just cut in quarters and you're good to go. Some patterns also use 5-inch squares. You can get 10-inch squares, which are called layer cakes. This is a fat quarter bundle, which is quarter yards. And you can get jelly rolls. They all sound so tasty, but you can't eat them. Jelly rolls are strips, so they're 2.5-inch strips. So it's where people have kind of done some of the work for you. This quilt that's on the front is made from those 2.5-inch strips. And so all you do is just sew 3 of them together and then cut it into blocks and put your blocks like this. And so it's so much simpler than people realize when you make use of pre-cuts and things like that. Then I divided everything up into different skills. So there's a chapter that's just on pinwheels, like what we did here. So there's a pinwheel hat, there's a pinwheel table topper, there's a pinwheel quilt. There's things about stars. There's things about something we call flying geese, which gives you triangles. There are purses and pouches. There's the hat. But you can see lots and lots of simple, there's pinwheels made into a table runner. So this is the same basic thing we just did, but bigger, and you put 3 pinwheels together. Here's the denim jacket. And so lots and lots of 28 different projects that you can do. It is on sale lots of places, wherever books are sold. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, all those places. But right now, my friends at Missouri Star Quilt Company are offering a special deal for today's event. And there is a code. It's all caps, everyone quilts. And I see Create Room just put that in the chat for you. So the code is everyone quilts. You get 20% off. It's a one-time per customer, valid through Halloween. And they just put the link in there for where to go shop it. But it's on the Missouri Star website. And you just grab the book, use that code, and then you get the 20% off discount. And because I was in Missouri for their birthday bash last week, I actually autographed a bunch of them. So if you order from there, it might have my signature in it. So
that's so fun.
I'm going to order today.
Yeah,
I know we all need this book. I need it too. We need to get started on these other projects. And like, I think what's so fun is we just saw an example of one of the projects in there, and I'm sure, and you're so good at explaining things in a simple, clear way. I feel like there's just a whole bunch of other projects in there that are going to be so fun to tackle with Amy's clear instructions, and you just make it seem achievable. I think you make it seem like we can do it. So
And
It's
one of the
such
things that I
one.
tried to do for the projects too is every project has diagrams that I drew
Yes.
in Procreate. And I'm a visual learner, so I know when I read a pattern, if it's just words and I can't see it, I'm like, well, forget that. So
Yes.
I have
So helpful.
step-by-step diagrams drawn out to show you, oh, here's a Christmas stocking. That's a fun one. And a stripy
Cute.
pillow, lots of things. So it's diagrams in order to help visual learners like myself to feel confident, like, okay, I know what I'm doing for this step. It's not just a bunch of words.
Totally. Oh, it's so helpful. So she's done all the hard work for us. Thank you, Amy.
Of course, that's my job.
Amazing. Okay, well, I think we are about to wrap up here. This was such a fun event. We are going to announce a few winners. We have 3 winners of a Crafters Caddy. I actually have one here. I'm going to grab it and I'll show you guys what it
I
looks
have
like.
one of
Do you have one? Yes.
do.
They're so helpful.
They
They're
are.
so easy. I'm going to grab mine right here. So it hooks onto the end of your table and it can hold your drink so it won't spill over your project. And then it has all these nice little pockets for tools and things that you want to keep close by. And then it's also a little waste basket, which is really nice for sewing because you can throw your little scraps and like your
Yes.
threads
All the
as
time.
you're working. So anyway, so we have 3 winners of this and we are going to get that sent over to us. They're random selections of some of you guys that commented and shared this video throughout. So you may not have known that you were entering by commenting, but you were. So, and they do need to be here present live to win. So we'll announce a few winners. And if they're not here, we may have to choose some other ones. Okay. I think we've got those sent over. Okay, Desi, do you see those winners?
Yeah, I'm seeing Christine Davis watching from YouTube.
Christine Davis. Okay, let us know if you're here, Christine.
And is she here? Are we seeing her in the comments?
We'll watch for her.
Okay. I'll move on to the next one. It's Melissa McKinstry.
Oh,
I feel like I've seen Melissa commenting a lot, I want to say, in the Facebook group. I remember the name.
Okay, amazing.
And then we have Kimberly Voigt Bloom.
Okay.
Or Blum, sorry.
Okay. We'll see if any of them comment here live.
Christine Davis is here.
Oh, I see Christine. Congrats, Christine. Thank you for
Yay.
watching.
So we'll send you I don't know how to direct message on YouTube. We'll figure out a way to direct message you. If you don't hear from us, you can reach out to our customer service team.
Oh,
We'll get
Melissa's here.
this taken care of.
Oh, here's Melissa and Kimberly. Perfect.
Okay, amazing. We've got our winners. Thanks you guys for being here. This has been seriously so inspiring, so much fun. Hopefully you guys got some inspiration for projects and also for organizing your sewing setup and just getting a beautiful setup to spend more time sewing. We are so grateful for Amy. Thank you so much. Like this is the perfect craft, I think, for so many of us because we do so many different things. And I think so many of us are trying to make that leap into the sewing and quilting world. And this was perfect. So
Yay.
thank you.
Thank
Anything
you
else
so
you want to
much.
say, Amy, before we wrap up here?
Thank you so much for having me. It's always fun. My favorite thing, my passion is sharing creativity with others. People ask me all the time, oh, do you sell these? Do you sell the things you make? No, I want you to make your own. I want to empower and inspire you to do the projects. And so that's what really excites me is when people take these things and run. So if you do this project or if you get the book and try some projects, please do share. I know they put my Instagram in the chat. Everywhere on social, I'm Amy Latta Creations. So find me, tag me. I'm on Instagram all the time. I also have a Facebook group called Amy Latta and Friends. And as I try to do once a week, but sometimes like this week I was traveling to Missouri, so I missed it. But I try to do a weekly show and tell thread where people can share photos of their projects. But please tag, share, so that we can all be inspired.
I love it. Thank you. And yes, we have
Absolutely.
links for her book. We have links for if you're interested in any of the things you saw today, they're in the chat. But also please ask us questions. We'll get to them if we miss anything. So thank you guys and happy National Sewing Month. Thank you so much.
Bye.